Hi everyone, so I haven't made a video for a long time now, and quite simply I just didn't feel guided to do it. I felt like I was very much going on my own journey. I was very much just kind of, yeah, like working on myself, and I didn't have stuff to share. I did make a couple, but they never got shared for whatever reason, and yeah, I just kind of believe in doing things when it feels right. And I just woke up this morning and I felt like I wanted to make some videos. And then somebody commented about how I wrote a book or something when we were sharing experiences. And I thought, oh, I don't know, I feel like it's sort of the push to kind of put something else out. But I wanted to do a little series of videos on things that I've kind of come to realizations of. And some of them I haven't even Lilith, I've got to have her here, or she makes ridiculous noises and ruins my videos. But I feel like there's some things that I've come to realizations on, and yeah, I can still work on things a lot more, but I just feel I'm at a stage where I've got some stuff that I can share that might be useful for people. So the first one I wanted to talk about was learning to trust ourselves and understanding ourselves as the creator of our reality. So I was really addicted for a long time, like a lot of us are, to getting my answers from outside of myself. So, I went through the old psychic addiction because stuff happened to me, namely with a connection that I was really sure was my twin flame, and I couldn't get any feedback from this person, but I was so sure and I was so confused and I couldn't tap into my higher self. So, I basically was trying to desperately seek answers from anywhere and anyone that was willing to give them to me. And this carried on for a while. And yeah, I completely got out of that stage now, but there were still lots of ways that I wasn't able to really kind of connect to myself. And in many ways in that time, things were a lot more crazy and spiritual, and I was always getting signs and synchronicities, and I actually don't really get these things anymore. I think as we step into being the creators of our reality and understanding who we really are, I actually think a lot of that crazy stuff kind of stops happening, and the magic becomes about actually just being present and life, rather than like, oh, I had this vision, or I left my body and did this, or I think at the time I thought it was the ultimate thing, but looking back, I think a lot of that was kind of escapism in a way, or I think there's always a journey, and I think sometimes these things, it's easy to say, oh well, that wasn't the right way of doing things, but I do think there's lots of things that you need to do in order to kind of move to the next level. And I think quite simply I wasn't spiritual at all, and I think to get some kind of understanding and belief there was more to life than just living, I had to experience some of those things. But then working through that, I then realized, well, actually, it's not about escaping to another dimension or any of these things. It's actually just about completely integrating being here now. So that's kind of where I am now. And this kind of guidance thing, well, I was definitely into a period of manifestation and visualizing, and some of the stuff happened and some of it didn't. And even when I did manifest stuff, I generally found that actually it was pretty unfulfilling anyway, because I was manifesting it from my ego and not from my higher self. It's like we're two people, we're ego self and higher self. So a lot of this, I'm creating my own reality and I'm the creator of my reality. Like, it is true, but I don't believe that when we create it from the ego self, that it's a fulfilling reality. So even if what we want happens, like a lot of the time when what we've asked for comes from a place of our ego self, then we're going to quickly realize that it's like a fool's gold anyway. So I think really the journey is about learning to trust that intuition and that higher self connection. and trusting that to make our decisions. And I do feel like one day that will be such a merge with us that there won't even be, we will be full creators, because there won't even be like an ego self to make decisions. So we'll be just fully integrated with our higher self. But I don't feel like I'm there yet. So I think till that point, it's kind of about trying to constantly see the ego, recognize the ego, and understand the ego, so that we can then listen to the higher intelligence. Some people like to call it God or the universe, but I find that kind of language really puts it outside of ourselves, and that source is just us, but the kind of highest representation of ourselves, and that has all the wisdom of the soul. And our kind of journey is to realize we are that, and kind of constantly keep integrating the ego till we become that higher expression of ourselves. But yeah, I think that I've very much been in this pattern this year where I've really found it, and everything starts to manifest amazingly, and then I kind of lose myself into the physical again. So I'll basically, like totally let go and realize, it's kind of this realization, there's talking about it and then there's feeling it. And we've all had those moments where we've like really genuinely gone, I've been talking about this, but now I feel it. And there's definitely been those moments where I completely feel that all my stability is here and within, and I don't need to go and make it happen. I just need to wait for the inspiration. And every time I do that, amazing things happen. Like I'll just feel inspired to paint, and then someone will buy my painting. Or I remember at the beginning of the year, I just was like that, and I literally had about 5 job offers roll in, and it literally, I would have been like making so much money every month, and then as soon as I lose it, it's just incredible to see the speed of things that can come in and out. And as soon as I kind of then started to lose myself into the 3D, these things just like went. And it's just so easy to do. Like you can even experience it and know that it works, and then it's still so easy to get lost into the physical of, how am I going to survive, and what if this doesn't pay me enough money, and I need this for this, and I need to go out and find something that can help me survive. It's so hard to kind of forget that actually all we really need to do is just wait for inspiration and find it within, and then that thing will just be like, that message will be, do this, and you'll hear it, and then you'll do it, and then life will flow. And then very quickly, then you just can get lost again, and you're like, how do I earn money, and how do I do this, and how do I do that? And I feel like that's been a lot of this year for me, is kind of moments of that, and then moments of losing myself, and it's kind of been a solidifying experience that is the way, just to really find each day, like to do. I think that people kind of get this thing of like, how, what do you have to do versus how much of it's action versus like just manifesting is the wrong word, but like magnetizing. And I think it's all about inspired action. It's like, of course we have to make actions, but I think it's about waiting for the action to be inspired, rather than the action coming from a place of like, I have to do this because I need to make some money today. And it's really hard. It's really hard because we're so used to living in that mindset, and you can even get into the other mindset and then just lose it. But it's always worked for me. Like whenever I've managed to just completely let go and explore my passion, then things flow. And yeah, that's kind of my big journey for the year, I think, really. And I think that's, yeah, the main message that I wanted to share in this video was about really, really listening. Like, what's your inspiration that you should be doing? Like, a lot of the time it's easy to just do stuff that we're not feeling because we feel like we need to make money or we need to do it for whatever reason, and we don't really, when we're honest with ourselves, have, when something is inspired, I feel like that's, all you can think about. It's all you want to do. And it's easy, like it flows. And a lot of the time when it doesn't, we want to make it flow. And we might have some success with that, but it's never going to be fully fulfilling. And I think whenever we try to make anything flow from our ego rather than our higher self creation, it's going to just be deeply unfulfilling on every level. So that's what I wanted this video to be about, and I hope that resonated with some people. And I want to do some more, but I'll speak soon. Bye.